And so we can take a look at the templates here. And here, so this is one of the key things, right? We don't have any shared storage. So how does that new machine know how to make desktops? Well, we have to tell it how to make desktops. So here we can click on that folder, and this tells us, hey, here Alpha 4 is putting together the images that need to come to Alpha 3 as it joins. So Alpha 3 is waiting for an image, and Alpha 4 is now preparing it, and we'll send it to Alpha 3.
All right, let's take a few steps back, because this is a complex topic. So the desktop images. So I imagine, like most environments, you create template images, and they're sort of customized as users log on. Do you do your own? Do you use sysprep, or do you have your own sort of sysprep mechanism?
We use sysprep, but we wrap it all up in as easy a way as possible. So it's just a simple desktop lifecycle that you just step through on the templates tab, and we carry you through the connection to your desktop and allow you to restart it, do whatever you want to patch it up, to make it however you want, and then we carry you right through a prepare, an automatic sysprep, automatic prepare. And now it's a template that can be sent around. Okay,
and so the sending around happens automatically. So if I update the templates, it doesn't matter where, because these are all the same, right? Then it pushes out the changes.
It pushes out the changes.
Is it pushing out deltas, or is it doing the whole disk image?
In prior versions, it does the whole disk image. In future versions, it's pushing out the deltas.
I'm guessing it's like you get the VHD, what do they call that? The ability to have like sort of chaining built in the VHD files and stuff moving forward. Then that'd be pretty easy to just sort of incorporate that.
Right. Yeah. Again, we build that layer on top of an assortment of the tools that are available, and yeah, we just throw those other tools in. We try to be as agnostic as possible to protocols, to hypervisors, to databases, to everything.
So right now everything's Windows XP. Speaking of protocols, do you support Windows 7, or is that, I assume, coming soon?
Windows 7 is coming very soon.
And so how about, do you do persistent, one-to-one user mappings, or is everything with the shared model?
So we have the capability to essentially name out some nearly static desktops. So it's as static as the administrator lets it be. So it will last there forever for the user until the administrator says enough.
And then those automatically replicated around, because I would imagine you wouldn't want to necessarily put every desktop on every node.
Right.
But you also want them on more than one node, since we're using, in theory, sort of cheaper hardware.
Yeah. So for that, we don't. If you have a static desktop, we're not managing that tolerance for you. If you want to just wrap that static desktop into a template, we will manage that one for you. But the changes that you make to your own individual desktop instance aren't going to be propagated out at this point. So
if you talk about the product for a bit, who's your market for this? Do you see this as like a small, medium business kind of thing, where they don't want to deal with the complexity of how everything sort of has to work, or do you see enterprises dabbling in this also?
The small and medium businesses is the best target, is the first best target. But this should be able to grow as someone's enterprise grows. There's nothing behind this technology that's really that unscalable. We're not centralizing anything.
Well, what I see is the most interesting thing here is that it only requires ESXi, and so you don't need any VI, or you don't need Virtual Center or anything like that. It handles all the provisioning and all the management with just the free ESXi hypervisor.
Yeah, and so it's pretty interesting. And the more I talked to them, and I actually shot about 40 minutes of video. So of course the video we saw just now is only sort of a small subset of the full conversation. I will also post the full video if anyone wants to dig deeper. My first reaction to it, number one, is yeah, you're absolutely right. So I mean, look at that video they used. They were using workstation class machines. I mean, you can take anything if it will run ESXi. Then it can be added to their grid. When I first looked at that, I kind of thought, oh, well, isn't this? I mean, can't a PowerShell scripter on a long weekend with a case of Mountain Dew and a pack of cigarettes kind of write some scripts to sort of make this happen? But if you actually look at it working, then you realize they're talking to ESXi, they're provisioning the VMs, they're copying the disk images around. I mean, as you grow to multiple hosts and multiple nodes, they get into these little subgrids, and they create automatically. They figure out, you create the templates. I mean, it's as simple as you saying, here's a finance template, here's an engineering template. I want this for 20 users. I want this for 100 users. I want this for 15 users. And they figure out which disk images should be on which machines, which ones are copied where, and just kind of handle everything for you. So my feeling is this is great for kind of smaller and medium businesses, especially, you know, Gabe, you've written a lot about kind of the desktop versus the server people in companies. This is kind of cool because you don't need shared storage. This is something that truly kind of like the desktop people could just stand up and start running and start delivering desktops immediately. And so since they're riding on just on regular Windows XP, Windows 7 they're very soon to support that, which is going to be RDP 7 and everything. So I think there's a lot of potential there. And this is kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of a gee whiz, kind of cool little thing. Like I said, you can download a free version. I mean, you download the virtual appliance, but you can be playing with it in 20 minutes, $65 per CCU. You know, they're not going to, you still have to handle profile management and printing management and that kind of stuff the same way you would in any desktop environment, so they're not doing that. But as far as building your whole infrastructure and connection broker and storage and all that, it's VDI in a box. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I've been on a little bit of a simplicity kick lately, and so that kind of thing is definitely attractive. Especially when I just downloaded some bits for ZenDesktop 4 so that we can do that evaluation, or so we can show some video of that on our next episode. And yeah, I mean, I think I had to download 6 different things so that I could get a working ZenDesktop environment, and so it's kind of cool to see this nice and simple, sleek package.